Hello, everyone. Sonia here with your spiritual lesson of the week. And this week, we're talking about discipline. Now, discipline sometimes often sounds like a dirty word because it feels like this paternal force that tells us of what it is that we have to and should, and where we can be really harsh on ourselves. But also, discipline is where we can create magic. In order to manifest, in order to get guidance, in order to be available, we have to be disciplined. And that basically means that we have to show up. How much do you show up to the things that you actually want in your life? It's just like going to the gym. If you want abs of steel, you can't just think about them and then not do anything. So it's really about where are the places that we are choosing to take action in our lives. And the interesting thing too is when we talk about discipline, it's where we decide to put our energy and how much we choose to prioritize and care for ourselves. It was interesting, this week I was looking and I saw that one word for self-care is the things that help you in help your future self. So, for example, this month I have been swamped, but I decided, which is discipline, and also the most powerful words that we have, I decided that this month I was going to move my body intentionally every single day, and I was going to meditate for at least 5 minutes every single day. Now, I can't tell you how many times I've woken up or had a busy day and the last thing that I wanted to do is either of those. But the more that I decide to prioritize what it is that my spirit needs, because actually even in getting those two pieces of guidance, those were guidance for me of meditating and moving my body, the more disciplined I am, the more that I show up, the more that I water my garden, the more that I'm available to guidance, the more that I feel good in my body, and the more that I'm supported. So when we're talking about discipline too, we're talking about the words I decide. And in esoteric law, and this idea, when we say I decide, it's where we put our magic wand. And when we think about the things, experiences that we want to manifest, there's all this talk about manifestation. I want to manifest this experience, and we can think of how we can do things like support our subconscious by putting up images, or people come up with vision boards. These are ways that we can definitely water our garden, but we also have to ask ourselves, how do we show up every single day to what it is that we want to create? And it's actually an empowered, powerful process, because it shows us when we not only decide, but when we show up, it shows us how powerful we are and how our power comes from little itty bitty teeny tiny steps every single day. And whether that is something like I decide that I am going to go on an African safari to Zimbabwe, and that's what my manifestation is, and I'm going to show up every single day to plan my trip and save my money and create experiences or talk to people about it. Those are all decisions that I make in support of my dream, of my manifestation. It's also when we decide the outcome of something. I'm deciding that this is going to happen. I'm deciding that I'm going to get a new job. I'm deciding that I'm going to get into a relationship. And that's the outcome, but I'm going to be flexible and allow the universe to lead and to allow my intuition to guide me. But that place of decision is a place of personal power and of who I am. And when we declare things to the universe and show up to it with devotion, it's when magic happens. So we can make simple decisions, even like I decide I'm going to be more sensitive to my spirit. I decide that I'm going to water my garden every day. I decide, for example, like I said, I am going to move my body intentionally and meditate every single day for this month. And also, oftentimes we get afraid of making decisions because we feel like we're going to be stuck. That is our intellect Our intellect is when we feel it in our bodies, it feels like a pair of pants that are too tight and restrict us. And But the magic of trusting our intuition and trusting our spirit is I decide what works for me for now. And that also creates a feedback system with our spirit, with our higher self, with our guides, with the universe. So what are the things that you are deciding? Where has your intuition been guiding you that you've been ignoring? What are the changes that you are trying to create but haven't been consistent in watering your garden? Now, this isn't a game of gotcha. This isn't a place of trying to, be critical, but again, interesting. One of the definitions of intuition is to pay attention. And the better that we can pay attention, not only to the outsides, but to our insides, to better self-reflect, to better be more aware, the better we can purify our own consciousness, the better that we can clean our window, which is our view, our perspective. We say that eyes are windows to the soul. And that same window, we say that, and that means very literally your perspective. So where are the places that we need to clean your window? I clean my window all the time. And how I do that is I meditate, get my messages, I journal, write things out, I say them out loud. Intuition is vibration, and our bodies are vibrational, they resonate. So the more that we can say things out loud, the more that we can feel what's true, as opposed to have to, must, should, all intellect. And when we're clear on our intuition, when we're clear on our guidance, when we're clear on our decisions, then we are in an empowered place. And when we connect more to our power, we can connect more with our spontaneity and joy and our higher self. So what are the things that you decide this week? Make a little decision every single day. I decide that I'm going to speak to myself nicely. I decide that I'm going to go for a walk. I decide that I'm going to be sensitive to my spirit. I decide that I'm going to listen to my intuition. These are all decisions that we can make that put us in our seat of personal power. And the more that we make decisions and don't overthink them and recognize that the decisions that we make, connect them to our feeling body. How does it resonate? If it resonates, if it feels good, that I'm going to follow and trust that and water that and attend to it. The more that we connect with our guides, our angels, the more guidable we are, the more powered we are, the more that we make decisions that are in alignment with our higher self. And the way that we do that is by being disciplined. Sometimes you don't want to meditate. Sometimes I don't want to pray. Sometimes I'm like, yes, my intuition. But the more that I practice it, the more that I soften, the more that I'm available to it, the more that becomes just like, as a kid, you learned the discipline to brush your teeth. It's the same thing. And now you have a nice smell in mouth, and also your teeth are healthy. It's the same thing. So consider these little ways of little habits that we can cultivate that create huge changes. Little itty bitty microscopic little decisions. I decide from moment to moment to moment. I decide to trust my intuition. What are the decisions that you've been putting off for fear of making a change? And go for it. And even just the simple decision, I'm going to trust my intuition and not overthink it or over-intellectualize it, will change your life. So I hope that you enjoyed the video this week. If you like my video, subscribe to my newsletter. You can do that at soniatully.com. I have a free online course that you'll get and ebook on how to better trust your intuition and make the decision to get some support. If you are looking to connect with your soul purpose or your creativity or are feeling stuck, book a reading with me. If you have been practicing these principles but haven't felt a deeper shift, mentor with me. I offer a free 15-minute discovery call to see how working together will be a good fit. And no matter what, I love connecting with you. So make the decision to trust your intuition and take action today. Don't wait. We don't have all the time in the world. It's the biggest myth. So I'm sending you all my love, and I cannot wait to connect with you. Bye.